Okay, so another video, guys. In this video, I'll be talking about the Valuk APC. Now, what is the Valuk? Well, the Valuk is a 6x6 armored personnel carrier built in Slovenia and used by the Slovenian and Ukrainian armies. In the information about the Valuk is, there's not a lot of it on YouTube, and most of it, like 99% of it, is just AI voices reading a headline about it and being sent to Ukraine. So I decided to make this a more in-depth video on the Valuk. So the Valuk started life as a licensed copy of the Pandur 1 APC. The Pandur 1 was a vehicle made by the Austrians in the 70s. It's a 6x6 armored personnel carrier, with relatively little armor and armament, but it's better than nothing. The Pandur can sit around 6 to 8 people, 6 if there's an armament and 8 without. Slovenia, or so the Valuk, the Slovenian versions, all have armament, so there are only 6 passengers. The armament is either a 12.7mm machine gun, so an M250 cal, or a 40mm grenade launcher. There were versions designed with a 120mm mortar in the back and a 25mm turret, but these two were just made as prototypes and went nowhere. The armor is very lacking, as it can only stop 12.7mm ammunition or 7.62mm armor piercing ammunition, so this is very little. But for the relatively low weight of the Valuk and it being such a small vehicle, it's not that bad. Another version that was made was the ambulance version. The ambulance version has 3 crew members with a commander, a driver, a doctor, and can fit 2 stretchers or 6 injured soldiers sitting upright. This is opposed to the regular version, which also has 3 crew, the commander, driver, and the overhead weapon station gunner, and 6 dismounts. The vehicle isn't that bad, but it's not really optimal. But for the time that it was made and for the reason it was made, it was okay. So that's the specifications done. And now onto the history. The Valuk, as I said, is a licensed version of the Pandur 1 armored personnel carrier. Company STO Raune in Raune na Koroškem got the license in 1993 and later built the vehicles, a few prototypes originally in the 90s, and later the vehicles were made for the army. 85 vehicles total were made. The exact number of models or versions of the models is not known, but they were mostly the infantry variants and a few of the ambulance variants. They were made for Slovenia's NATO requirement, as we were trying to get into NATO, but we needed more NATO equipment. And also we really didn't have armored personnel carriers, but I'll get into that in another video. So the 85 vehicles were used mostly by the 10th and 20th motorized battalions, the 10th from Ljubljana and the 20th from Celje. These units also used them in Kosovo for the one deployment that had. They were used as infantry carriers in battalions, in 2 battalions. Later, they were also used by the 74th, which was at that point the motorized This was because of the Patria whoopsie daisy, but I'll get into that in another video. After the 2013 army reforms, which are kind of shit, and I'll get into them, the Valuks were supposed to be centralized in the 5th Wheeled Vehicles Company under the 175th Logistics Regiment. This regiment does service the vehicles, but they are de facto used by battalions themselves, similar with the Patria. The largest user of these Valuks is the 20th Infantry Regiment, and around 35 of them are also used by the 74th Regiment to complement its Patrias, or that number may have gone down, and I'll get into why. The 10th Infantry Regiment also uses them, but a bit less, and they might go to JLTVs in the future, and I don't know, I'll get to that later on. The vehicles are also used by the Ukrainian army, as in 2023 Slovenia gifted 20 of them to the Ukrainians under a secret deal. Now, I don't know a lot about that vehicle in Ukrainian service, and I haven't really heard anything about it. But on the other hand, we haven't really seen any of them destroyed. So either they're not getting used, or the Ukrainians are using them more carefully, as they should be. So we've talked about the past, but now the future. So here goes. The future of the Valuk is kind of unknown because, well, we still have 65 of them, but we're also ordering more Patrias, and I'll get into that in another video. On Wikipedia, it says that Slovenia was trying to order 14 Pander EVO or EVO or whatever it is. It means evolution, so the new vehicle the Austrians have. But that hasn't really gone anywhere, and I haven't really seen trusted news sources about that. So we'll see, maybe we'll buy them or something. With the Patria order, the 74th Infantry Regiment, or maybe we will go back to battalions, and the 20th will probably start using Patrias, so I guess either we'll dump all of them into the 10th, or there were talks about setting up a scout battalion on Patrias, and I would think that the Pandur would fit that role a bit better, since it's a more nimble, smaller vehicle. And as for the Ukrainians, I don't know what the hell they're gonna do with them. It would be cool to hear about what they think about the vehicle, but yeah, I don't know now, and we'll probably know a bit later. And that's pretty much it. That was my short video on the Valuk APC. Might remake it later, but you know, it is what it is for now. Yeah, and I still don't know what the hell to put at the end of the video, so I don't know, like, subscribe, and well, goodbye.